It's time for Des and Jeff Watch Stuff.
Oh, don't say it's time.
Why?
Because your dog just ran into the kitchen because that's their code for time for food.
No, not yet. But it's going to be almost time for food for us. But right now we're going to talk about
Where's that pizza?
an 80s movie that I love. And I've mentioned it on our show many times. Pizza with Scissors. We're going to talk about Cobra.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the forgotten Sylvester Stallone movie from the 80s. Because it wasn't as big as Rocky, wasn't as big as Rambo. I think it's a great movie. I liked it. Sylvester Stallone as Marion Cobretti, the no-nonsense cop who runs around with a matchstick in his mouth, cuts pizza with his scissors, and he's an all-around tough guy. And I love him. He was so great in that movie, and he has such a bunch of great lines and stuff. Everything that came out of his mouth was like a line, like a catchphrase.
Because he's just a beautiful man, and I'm a little
very tight jeans in this movie too. So
really?
wait,
I hadn't noticed.
let's start.
Okay.
Let's start with Desiree giving us the plot synopsis of Cobra.
Oh,
what is
God.
it about?
Tight jeans? I don't know. Okay, so is he actually a cop?
Yes.
He's a cop.
Yes, he's on the zombie squad, they call it.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
The zombie squad means they are the cops that will handle the cases that other cops won't. Other cops don't have the stomach for what they handle. They handle like the serial killers and the murderers and the rapists and the child killers.
Yeah, so he's after this one specific bad guy.
Night Stalker. Yes.
What's his name? Night Stalker?
Night Slasher. They call him two different things, I think, in the movie. Night Stalker and Night Slasher.
Okay.
So I think it's Night Slasher.
Slasher.
Okay, so he's after Night Slasher.
Yeah. But I'm not really sure what Night Slasher does.
He clangs his axes together.
Yeah, I know he
says,
acts a little weird.
Pig.
Yes.
Murders against the law.
Oh, he's killing people randomly. And he's after this woman because she sees
Brigitte
him.
Nielsen.
Yes.
Who doesn't have a character name. Her name is Brigitte.
I didn't know that.
Do you remember her name? The character's name in the movie? No.
No. But I guess she saw them committing one of these crimes, so then they're out to get her.
Yeah. And she's a model. Of course, she's a supermodel. And
the 80s.
There you go. And then he takes her into a safe house, and they find her because that really ugly looking cop lady.
Because there's a cop they have a cop on the inside.
Yeah. Because they're like this cult.
Right.
You have to. You probably didn't get to the first time around because I know I didn't back when I was 12 and I saw this movie. But every time I watched it, I learned a little bit more because they don't really go into detail about what the cult actually does.
Yeah, I know they kill people.
That's about it. Yeah. But there's some kind of cult.
One of them wears a hood or something.
It's also based on a book, which is weird. There's and I knew this too, but I'll give a shout out to our friend Chris Fulmer because he mentioned it to me to remind me about this. Some of the stuff in this movie was actually supposed to be Beverly Hills Cop because originally Beverly Hills Cop had no comedy in it. It was going to be another star vehicle for Stallone.
Wow.
Or something like that. Stallone didn't want the comedy, and so then it ended up in the hands of Eddie Murphy, and the rest is history.
Interestingly, yeah. Well, that would have changed history.
Oh yeah. So some of the stuff that was written for Beverly Hills Cop originally ended up in Cobra because apparently the book that it's based off of has nothing really to do with the movie. It's the whole weird convoluted thing. I don't have any notes. I did have notes, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just kind of going off of drunken memory right now about Cobra. But yeah, that's a really, really interesting thing. You know me. I love to see how the sausage is made because.
And I don't.
I work in the industry.
And I don't because I believe in magic.
Yes. There you go.
And I don't want to know the secrets behind the magic. My friend Doug will appreciate that.
Well, there you go. If he even watches.
Well, he will.
Shout out to Doug.
Shout out to Dougie. So yeah, we have very different views of that, and I
like to look at the history, the background, whatever. I won't read. I'm not going to read the book because I was told it's only like a passing resemblance to what actually is in the movie. The movie starts off really strong. That first segment in the movie in the supermarket with the guy who comes in and starts shooting up the place, and then they call the Cobra, and the Cobra shows up, and that guy from the Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
The guy from the Santa Claus is there.
I'm sorry, I can't think of what his real name is, but
no, that's fine.
If you know the Santa Claus, he's the Mulinator.
Right.
He's the Tooth Fairy.
Right, and so that's another thing about movies. Like sometimes you just can't get a character out of your head. So when they pop up in a movie
he looks
like
exactly the same.
It's like, oh my god, you're like, it's the Mulinator. But okay, the first scene in the movie, the intro scene basically, is amazing. Our friend Jim Dormer says it goes downhill from there. I kind of agree a little bit with him, but it's still, I think, a great watch. Still now, just for Pig. Just for the nice slasher guy.
Okay, can we talk about how you made that poor man say that line to you?
Yes, I want to talk about that.
Please.
He's not a poor man. Brian Thompson is his name. He's an actor who's been in a lot of stuff. He's the villain, and he is a great villain. I mean, he's like, I wish he had more screen time. He's scary. Maybe that's better that he didn't have as much screen time because it just makes him like he's mysterious. When I was a kid, I'll say this too. We rode our bicycles from the town of Pardeesville where we grew up in to the Churchill Cinema to see this movie. There's like 12 of us. And we were, I don't know, when did it come out? 85 maybe? I don't know. I was born in 73, so we weren't that old. And we rode our bikes from there. How many miles is that? Maybe 10?
No, like 2.
From Churchill Cinema to Pardeesville?
Yeah.
2 miles.
Maybe 3.
Get out.
No, it's not that far.
Okay, maybe it's like 10.
10 miles. It's not even 10 miles to McAdoo from Pardeesville.
We rode our bikes out to see this. The one like Saturday afternoon, and a whole bunch of us, 12 of us. It was a gang of bikers on our bicycles. And
a gang of bikers? Little kids on bikes?
I love kids on bikes, yeah. That's like just a whole genre of movies, kids on bikes. So we rode out there, and it's just something I remember that because it's something you never see that today. Kids don't ride their bikes anywhere. So we went to the comic book convention. It wasn't Comic-Con. I think it was a Wizard World affiliate. Brian Thompson was there at the Philadelphia Comic Book Convention, which I did a whole show on with Ken Cara back in the day on Off the Beaten Path, and you can check that out. Just search Off the Beaten Path Comic Book Convention, and you'll see it. It's a whole half-hour show that we did. So much fun. Brian Thompson was there. And so I came up to him, and I was like, hey, man. I'm like, you're Pig. And he's like, Night Slasher? I'm like, no, you're Pig. And he goes, I've been in so many other things.
Aww.
But he's like, you remember me from Cobra. I'm like, yes,
remember him from that.
Yes. That's iconic. Now, I know, like, as the years gone by, because this was a long time ago, I guess he softened up on it because he had some choice words about a lot of people in that movie that worked on that movie. Anyway, I was like, do the line. I'm like, please just do the line. I may even throw him a couple bucks. I don't remember.
Say it.
I was like, say it. And he goes, murder's against the law, Pig. I was like, yes. He's like, do you know I've been on Star Trek? I know I've been on the X-Files. No?
Yes.
And I'm like,
we
yes.
know.
I don't care.
Well, we want to hear you say that.
I'm like, you're Pig. So, and I just actually watched an interview with him the other day because, once you say something or search for something on your phone or your computer, then your computer or your phone's like, you want to know all about this? Here you go. Here's all the stuff. So
yeah,
I got fed an interview with him.
They shove it right
down your throat. They shove it right down your throat. And he was talking about Cobra. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And so it was just interesting. Like, he understands, like, he's an iconic villain. And he was talking about the knife, too. He said that knife was, like, super sharp.
Oh.
And he cut himself so many times because it was a real knife.
Why'd they give him a real knife?
It was a real knife.
Hi, buddy.
For a lot of it. Oh, here comes Puppy.
There's our puppy. Come here. But
yeah, I mean, of course, when he actually cuts his finger, that's fake. But he cut his fingers a lot because it was a really knife. It was a real knife. It was sharp, and when he pulled it out, sometimes he would cut himself.
Oh.
Okay, so we're just kind of rambling about Cobra, but that's Cobra.
Yeah.
Cobra was an action movie. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of violence.
Can I just interject here?
Of course.
Stallone is in it. Can we talk about him?
Yes. He was fantastic in it.
I just have this
He's on
weakness for that man, and I understand he's in his 70s.
It doesn't matter. I hope I look
He's
like that.
older
when I'm
than my
70.
parents.
That's fine.
But oh boy, he's a
Sylvester
lovely
Stallone
man.
is on top of his game in this movie. He is like, I mean, he just oozes cool.
Which is crazy because 40 years later, he's still on top of his game.
Yeah. He's amazing. He really is. And yes, there's a lot of cheesy dialogue in this movie, but it's so good. And,
yeah, there is.
And like, he has a partner in the movie. His cop partner.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name is Gonzalez. The only character trait of that guy is he's kind of bitchy and he loves to eat sugar. That's it.
Yes.
That's it. There's like one little thing about everybody in this movie. It is good though. I like it for what it is. It's a 80s action movie. The car's awesome. The guns are awesome. What?
Nothing left in there.
Oh, well, I guess we'll have to.
Why don't you fill that up for me, dear?
We infused some gin tonight with some black tea.
It is amazing.
It's pretty delicious, yeah.
It is amazing, and it's yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Des.
Thanks.
Oh, that was like maybe a shot. I'll have you go first. What do you give Cobra? Would you give it a? Would you suggest someone watch it that wants to see a 80s movie? 80s action movie, like at its height, you know.
So am I judging this on the whole picture or Stallone's performance?
Nah, I don't care, both, whatever.
Because I will give Stallone a 6.9. The whole picture is a 7.0.
Oh, so you like it?
I really like it.
You like Cobra? Cool.
I just really thought it's iconic now, but
Iconic.
yes, sir.
It is iconic, and I think it's actually gotten more popular with people our age as time goes on, because I see more people talking about Cobra.
Yeah, but it also
Your name might need a little bit more.
Okay, it still stands on its own.
It does. It's a good movie. Like I said,
it's very 80s, but
yes.
it's
the robot scene. No, the robot scene's weird.
Oh,
she's just kind of posing with robots for no reason. The supermodel.
Yes.
I guess
And
robots
I don't
were a
like
thing.
robots.
I guess robots
well, in
were
the
a thing,
80s, yeah, remember like
Short Circuit.
Oh, I can't believe I loved that movie. I don't know
I
why.
can't believe that either.
No, I'm thinking Herbie Hancock in that creepy video terrifies me.
Rocket.
And that is why I hate that bar in Vegas.
The Tipsy Robot.
Tipsy Robot, because it reminds me of that. Now I'm just
Herbie
going off.
Hancock.
But yeah, I'm terrified of robots.
Robots were big back then. Robots were big.
But you got to remember, when I was like 10, 11 years old and very, afraid of I really was afraid of everything. All these robots were on TV and scary, very scary.
Yeah,
what was his name? Max Headroom.
Oh, he's not a robot though.
Uh,
He was like an AI thing. He was like early AI.
Terrifying. I was afraid of everything.
Well, there's only one scene with robots.
Yeah, and it made no sense. It didn't even have to be there.
No, I mean she
was on this
photo shoot. It was a montage.
It
was an 80s montage, and she's on this. Because she's on this.
It was obligatory.
She was on this shoot where she's posing with robots, and then he's still Marion Cobretti is shaking down. He's shaking down the prostitutes.
I love the fact that his name is Marion Cobretti. I love it.
That name is perfect. Perfect.
Not as perfect as Jeffrey Benoma.
Oh, I guess we're done.
Not nearly as perfect as Desiree Benoma.
Yeah, I guess we're done.
We are, because our pizza's about to get here and our dogs are going to bark. Ding!
I didn't even give my rating, but I will.
Do it.
7.
Woo! Hey, we agreed on that one.
All right. I feel like I missed a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about on that. But
sorry.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember.